Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for this video, but I apologize that it's so late. I am probably one of the last people to come on here and do a review of Rare Beauty, but at the same time, I've had weeks to try it out, so I feel like my opinions are fully established. This is one of the launches this year that really resonated with me. I actually got really excited for, so I did pick up a bunch of the Rare Beauty products. If you guys somehow don't know, Rare Beauty is Selena Gomez's makeup line and it's available at Sephora. So I did pick up the products that intrigued me the most. So what I'm going to do is actually give you guys my full thoughts and little review of each product as I apply it. So before we get started, if you guys enjoy this type of video, please give this video a thumbs up for me. It helps me a lot. And don't forget to follow me on my other social media to keep up to date with me when I'm not posting on YouTube. So this line doesn't have eye products yet, so I just have a little bit of eyeshadow and lashes on. I actually want to share the lashes because I always get asked about my lashes and I never know the answer because by the time I edit the video, it's out of my brain. So I have the carton right here. So if you guys happen to wonder at all, because I actually really like these lashes, they are beautérose in the style Sarai or Sarah E, and I will leave them linked below. So since this is all face, I'm going to start off by talking about the primer. This is the Always an Optimist primer. I did buy the mini because I was trying to conserve funds so that I could try more of the products for you guys. So the mini was $14 and the full size is $26. So if you guys don't know, it's probably important to note that I have really dry to normal skin. It's a little bit more on the dry side lately. So before I give you my opinions on the foundation, just know that I've only worn it with this primer so far. So my thoughts are kind of combined of the primer and foundation. So I like to apply this with my Sigma Kabuki Air. I get a lot of questions about this because it's the only brush I use to apply primer lately, and I use it on my Instagram all the time. I also use it for liquid blush and liquid highlight. So perfect for this video because most of the products are liquid. Actually, all the products I have are liquid. So I just pump a little bit onto the brush. That was a lot, that was not a little bit. And so far, this primer actually reminds me a lot of my favorite primer, which is the VDL Lumalayer Primer Fresh. It is the same kind of glow from within type of deal. It's very illuminating and hydrating. Lately, with how kind of terrible my mental health has been and just a lack of interest in wearing makeup, to be honest, I've been wearing like a face of primer or skincare and that's it. And these illuminating primers make me glow and I like to be glowy. So this is one of those primers that I can just slap on and pretend I've done something for the day. So I'm just gonna brush it on. I do have some breakouts around my mouth, like a lot of us probably do from mask wearing. And I'm just gonna brush this into the skin, buff it in, and you can already see it just gives me such a nice hydrated dewy look. And for me, I believe that this primer is key to enjoying the foundation because I have dry skin. So it gives just the right amount of dew, and to be honest with you, this is one of the top products that I have been enjoying out of the line. This is really good. I would definitely purchase the full size. So all of my typical foundation brushes are actually being washed right now while they're drying, so I'm gonna use an A30 from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This used to be like the only one I reached for. Now I kind of like bigger ones. I kind of go back and forth, but I do like to apply this foundation with a brush. So this foundation is the Rare Beauty Liquid Touch Weightless Foundation. It is a shaker. You can hear the little ball in there. You need to shake it up before use. And I believe it comes in 47 or 48 shades, and it's a $29 foundation, which is cheaper for the Sephora end of foundations. It does come with the typical 1 ounce, which is usual for foundation. The shade that I settled on is 200C, and 200C works for me. You guys can probably see my body is darker than my face because I do self-tan. I do still have a little bit of tan from the summer. We're getting into fall in New York, but 200C is actually what I purchased for foundation and for concealer. And I actually recommend sticking to the same color as your foundation with this line. In the concealer, I tried to go lighter with my concealer because that's what I typically do, and it was way too light, so I had to exchange it. Now, I've heard so many mixed reviews of this foundation, it's not even funny. So basically there's also some drama with the caps being very accessible to people who might have a disability or difficult with movement. They're very accessible, but they didn't do that on purpose, I guess, and then they're kind of like profiting off of the fact that they're accessible. I think, I don't know. I don't know the full tea. I have not been well versed in any drama. I just don't care, but I'm putting it out there that that's like something that's going around with this brand. But I personally don't think this is like the most visually appealing bottle that I have in my collection, but I do like that it is a twist. And for personal use, I don't mind a doe foot. If you're doing makeup on other people, you're not supposed to use it because it can harbor bacteria. But for me, I don't really care because it helps me be lazy. I like to brush it on, so I don't mind that it has the doe foot. Some things to note that I would say about this foundation are that it is very lightweight, but I expected it to be very sheer coverage for some reason, and it's definitely not. At least for me, it's more on the medium side. It could even be considered full with what I'm used to, but I actually have a foundation right here. This NARS Soft Matte I just purchased, and I've been reminded of what a true full coverage is. So this is nowhere near as full coverage as this, but for me, would consider it to be like medium to full. So I just like to streak this on my face with the doe foot and then go in with the brush. This does not dry down too quickly. It's not like a foundation that you have to do in patches, if that makes sense. You can kind of do it all over and just blend it in. My neck is kind of weird colors right now. I don't know why. Some of my self tan might be coming off, but it is very lightweight, so you kind of can put a lot on. And it's actually, it looks a lot more than it is. Like, this is just a very thin layer I'm brushing on. I need to bring it down to my neck because my face is such a different color right now. But I'm just gonna buff this in with the brush. It does kind of have a weird feeling on the skin. It's not heavy by any means, but it's so soft that you can almost like feel the softness, and I don't know if I love that feeling. I guess you could probably call that feeling like silicone-y. Like, it doesn't, to me, it doesn't feel greasy. It just feels like slick, kind of. It leaves a little bit of like my natural freckles, but for the most part, like it's pretty decent coverage for me. As far as the color matching goes, I do get a little confused when it comes to color matching because, as you guys saw, like my face was a little bit pinky, but my body is a little bit more yellowy. So the C, usually, I don't know, usually I think the C is like a more pinky foundation, but for me, this doesn't really look pinky, which is fine because I don't really need pinky, but I think the color matching can be a little confusing. I do recommend using like Sephora's tool to help guide you. That's what I do. I always compare it to Urban Decay Stay Naked Foundation in the shade 30WY because that one matches me so well right now. Now, you guys know I try to get like a little bit more personal in my videos lately so that you guys can like connect to me more because I feel like we've been a little distant. And so I'll give you a little story of something that like did bother me about YouTube lately. And it's that I posted my BOXYCHARM video for this month and somebody literally had the audacity, like I've always had like a bigger face, like that's just how I am. And now I have a new camera. It really shows you everything. And so somebody had the audacity to say that like my face was swollen and that I need to go get my thyroid checked because they're so concerned about my health. And I don't really understand where people get the entitlement and feel like they need to say something like that to somebody else because you can easily mask up how you're treating someone by acting like it's for their own good, when in reality you're being rude. So I take care of my health. My health is my business, and I've had plenty of blood work done because obviously I see myself every day and I know that like I have like a bigger swollen looking face. I don't know what you want to call it. I've had my blood work and I work out, I eat healthy, so like let me worry about that, you know? And I did pop off on her and then I blocked her before she could read it, so So that's the foundation. Overall, I really enjoy it. It's easy to put on. It's like a nice everyday wear. It does have that weird kind of feeling to it sometimes, but it doesn't bother me once it's on my face. And yeah, I like it. I have dry skin, it lasts on me, it doesn't cling to any patches, and I would say right now, like with one layer, it's pretty medium. So next up is the concealer, and like I said, this is also in the shade 200C. I do recommend going along the same color as your foundation. So same kind of packaging, except this has a smushed little ball on top so that you can open it up, and it does have the doe foot. So this doe foot's a little weird. It's like not my favorite concealer doe foot, but I'm just gonna pop this underneath my eyes to cover up the frecklage that didn't cover with the foundation. I don't love my freckles, but I don't mind them either. I don't know. I'm just doing a little brightening under there. And as you guys can see, this is not the same color as my foundation. It is a little lighter. So that's what I mean by choosing the same shade as your foundation. It's gonna be a little brightening. It is called the brightening concealer. Now, the concealer for me isn't like anything super special. Normally when I like try a concealer and it's amazing, I will continuously use it like no matter what I'm using for foundation. And a perfect example of that is the Huda Beauty Overachiever concealer. Like it amazed me for like a year. This is not like anything super notable in my opinion. It's fine, like it does what it needs to do. The texture's not bad. It's not like clinging or anything weird to dryness under my eye. Like it's not creasing crazy, but it's not like a powerhouse either. And I think part of me maybe has a little bias because I did have to return the one color. So maybe I'm like bothered by like the color selection of the concealer being confusing. I don't necessarily think that you need to set this concealer either if you are like me with dry skin, because that's how you get like a little bit of creasing and cakeage under the eyes, is when you maybe set it a little bit too much with a cakey powder or something. So far so good with the concealer. Like it's just fine, but I definitely am an advocate for drugstore concealers. Like I don't really feel like you need to spend the money on this one, so I'm kind of like neutral. Like it's not bad, it's also not like the best concealer I've ever tried. All right, so this product is my #1 recommendation from Rare Beauty. So I don't think you're gonna be surprised because everybody is raving about this, but this is the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Blush. Love the packaging of this one. It has like a nice gold cap to it with the same twist off style as the concealer, same size I think as the concealer, and mine is in the shade Bliss. This is a matte one. They do have dewy ones. I need to try more of them because this one is so impressive. It's weird for me to choose matte over dewy. It's not something I would normally do, but I feel like this color is like my favorite out of all of them, so I had to have Bliss in my life. So I'm hopping over to my trusty Kabuki Air from Sigma, and what I like to do is just put a few dots of this on my cheeks, and I like to do it towards the center kind of so that you can see it when I'm looking head on. So like right here and right here, we're putting on a lot. You don't need a lot. It shears out with the brush, but I really like it a lot. And it's so easy to blend. It just looks so natural, and it's my top recommendation. If you want to pick up anything from Rare Beauty based on this video, I would say the blush. It just looks so good. I can't deal. Like this color, maybe it's just the perfect color for me, but I'm obsessed. So the last item that I purchased is the liquid highlighter, and this is huge. There's like a really aggressive motorcycle outside. So this is the Positive Light Liquid Luminizer, and I picked up the shade Mesmerize. This is $22, so it is a little bit pricey, but it comes with half an ounce. So it should last for a while. This has the same doe foot as the foundation, not as the concealer. The concealer kind of has one, I think it's like double-sided, so it's supposed to be easy for under your eyes. I prefer this one. It's kind of like a traditional doe foot. So same as the blush, I just like to tap this on directly. That was a lot, but it's okay. I'm gonna do like 3 dots maybe 4. And I'm going to buff this out with the same brush. I'm telling you, this brush is quite the multitasker. So this highlighter is going to be more of like a natural looking highlight depending on how much you put on. I don't put on so much that it looks like a streak. I just really like the glass skin effect. So hopefully you guys can see, like, it just blends right out into a beautiful, luminous, natural looking highlight. It's not like the Cover FX drops that are gonna give you like an intense popping highlight. This is definitely more natural. So I like that. That's like the perfect amount of sheen for me. So this is another one that I like. If I had to rank the products that I purchased, it would be the blush is number 1, the primer is number 2, then the foundation, then this highlighter, and then the concealer. So I'm gonna finish my look up with some lipstick and some under eye mascara, and I will be right back to wrap up my thoughts on Rare Beauty. All right, guys, so I just popped on a little bit of the Huda Beauty Silk Balm to kind of wrap up like the natural looking. I mean, it's not super natural looking, but you get my point. It's like more of a natural vibe for my makeup today, aside from my lashes, which I'm obsessed with now. So my overall feelings on Rare Beauty is that it's definitely worth looking into if you guys have that kind of natural liquid makeup tendency. I think you're gonna like it a lot. If you're more of a powder person, that's totally fine. This is probably not for you, but at least for me, the products that I talked about today, I really enjoyed, and hopefully my thoughts help you guys out if you just were waiting for my opinion. I feel bad because some of you guys really wanted it, and I could have come out with a first impression, but I wanted to really give you guys like a well-rounded review, which hopefully I did. A few thoughts are that I really do enjoy the price point. I think it's fair for being a high-end brand in Sephora. It's more on the lower price point. And you guys know, with the oversaturation in the makeup industry right now, we don't need these things, but we want them. So of course you can find dupes and replacements and alternatives in the drugstore, and they're gonna be equally as amazing. But that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for having patience with me and for still sticking around and being here with me through the difficult times on my YouTube channel. I honestly can't tell you what's going on, what the future's gonna look like. I don't know. I hope that I can get back on track. I think that I'm starting to finally have a little bit more inspiration. But thank you guys so much for watching and hearing my thoughts and opinions on Rare Beauty. If you guys have any opinions, if you tried anything, then let me know what you think in the comments below. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up for me and subscribe if you are new here. I post new videos every single week, and hopefully I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.